When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment? Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all? When you start learning again? Or with a new role? Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cord Life. One chance, one choice.
Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to another session on antenatal care through Cord Life. I would like to welcome Dr. Nupush Sharma. She is a chief gynecologist with Edmavet Hospital. Over to you, ma'am. Please enlighten us on the topic.
Right. Welcome everybody. Thank you, Mandakini, for your kind words. I'm here to talk about antenatal care, and I bring to you greetings from Edmavet Hospital, which is first of its kind in Zirakpur, the first certified bedded mother and child care hospital, where we offer extensive care for mother and baby at the most crucial moment of their lives, that is birthing. We believe in making birthing a pleasure rather than a painful experience as labor pains depicts. So let's get on directly. How do we get ready during these 9 months to make this a pleasant experience? So what do we do? How do we know that we are pregnant? Most of the movies, they would show that a lady is vomiting in the sink and that is what is telling them that it's pregnancy. Yes, nausea vomiting occurs in about 70 to 80% of pregnant women. Besides this, there is dizziness, depressive symptoms, sleepiness, giddiness. A lot of women, they come to us and say कि मुझे चक्कर आ रहे हैं, चक्कर आ रहे हैं. So that is something very common during pregnancy, and it may not be a pathology, it may not be a disease, it may just be a normal symptom of pregnancy. Headaches, little bit of headache is okay, but then if it is really significant, we need to consult a doctor. So how do we manage these small, simple symptoms? One is, we take small frequent meals. Most of the women would say कि मुझे खाने की भूख नहीं लग रही, I don't feel hungry, and whatever I eat is still lying up, it doesn't go down. So what do? We start taking small frequent meals. Supposing we are taking food thrice a day, like we already read it conventionally, breakfast, lunch and dinner. But in pregnancy, it is 6 minor rather than 3 major meals. Then it is also important that we avoid the stimulants like caffeine, even the bright light, loud sounds. All this will aggravate our symptoms. Similarly, if you cook the food yourself, you will not feel like eating. So you can do the chopping aspect and then somebody else to put the, tadka thing, so that you don't get the odor of it. You can just simply shut your room, sit in a separate room while the cooking is being done, and definitely you will be able to consume food. Then the quality of food that you need to take. Even though everybody says take healthy diet, but you may not feel like eating. I always tell to my patients, sometimes khichdi aapko vomit ho jayegi or golgappe hazam ho jayenge. So it is so much taste driven. So it is important to make healthy food tasty. So how do we do that? We can simply make some paneer sandwiches. We can make dhokla and add a little bit of spices to it to make it really relishable. So it is very, very important that health comes along with the taste. If we tell them to consume bland food, no pregnant women would really like it. Then, as women, we are all worried about our appearance. So we all want to look very beautiful. In pregnancy, we get that pregnancy mask, those scar marks, the darkness, the face becomes dull and dry, as you can see in the screen. So what do we do about that? We use a good moisturizer. Accept that some amount of darkening is a pregnancy mask, but then a good moisturizer, applying sunscreen, will help us to sail through the 9 months. Then stria gravidarum. Now, why do these stria occur? Why do we have scars on our abdomen? You can imagine a small tummy expanding so much. So what is bound to happen? The skin is going to stretch. With stretching, automatically there is going to be scarring. Problem arises when we scratch through those scars. If you're going to scratch, it's going to be permanent scarring. So first is we increase the agility of the skin by applying a very good moisturizer. Previously, it was thought that coconut oil, since it is isotonic, let us apply coconut oil and that's going to be enough. But the disadvantage with coconut, it is no doubt a very good isotonic agent for the skin, but the only disadvantage is it just goes off in no time. Maybe about 6 hours later, your skin is again dry. So these days we have got such good moisturizers. You might have heard the ad in the TV. Bio oil, simple things like even NMF lotions. All these things, anything that really moisturizes your tummy will decrease your scar marks. And most important, don't scratch it. Just take a towel and rub it. That would be good enough. Then other things, hair fall. So what do we do about your hair fall? Very, very important thing is avoiding disease. There should be no dandruff in your hair. So if your scalp is healthy, definitely the hair fall is going to be manageable. Secondly, your doctor is going to prescribe you some good supplements. That again helps in improvising your hair and avoiding hair fall. Besides the healthy diet, that definitely has a role. Good water intake. Then you have other things like, I can't see my slides. So there are other things like some people say that, is it okay to color the hair during pregnancy? I sometimes get phone calls. They would say, is it okay to undergo waxing during pregnancy? See, what is hair color? That is a chemical which is you need to apply on your scalp. So any chemical that is being applied on the scalp would not really be a very good option. However, it doesn't mean that all through the 9 months you need to have those white hair. So what do we do about it? During the first 3 months, you avoid coloring. Thereafter, you can use color, the most stable preparation and for the least duration of time. Just don't apply color and leave it for hours together. Most of the coloring agents, they say apply it for just 20 minutes or so, and that would be good enough. Next is about waxing. Now, waxing is also something which can be easily done. However, I always say that avoid a bikini wax kind of a thing because your body is delicate and that area of your body is more sensitive. Then cleanliness and moisturization. Yes, it is required for our skin. And then brushing. See, during pregnancy, there is increased incidence of plaque formation. So we should always brush our teeth twice a day, preferably. Next. I need my screen also. Yeah, it's okay. Just a sec. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. It stopped working. So then what we use a soft, gentle toothbrush, brush your teeth twice a day, and avoiding using alcohol-based mouthwashes. However, you can simply rinse your mouth multiple times a day and you'll feel very good. If anybody is smoking, is a chronic smoker, one should always give up smoking during pregnancy. ये आता तो ये नहीं चलता. And it is also a myth that with every pregnancy one loses it. Then what are the changes? The breast enlarges. So what do we do about it? We just simply buy a brow which is a size bigger than the original. See, you must understand that the breast is going to hold all the milk after delivery. And do you know how much ml of milk goes to the child? It's 600 ml per day, bigger than the packet of milk that you purchase from the market. So to accommodate that, breast enlarges and we need to just buy a bigger size breast support. Another thing is there is usually breast dryness. So to avoid that also, we apply a good moisturizer. Next is most of us, we feel increased urination during pregnancy. Why does that happen? Because there is increase in blood volume, the rate of blood flow in the kidney increases, and there is pressure by the gravity. So that is again a normal phenomenon, and we really don't need to treat it. However, if it is really agonizing, simple things, we can avoid tea, coffee, carbonating drinks, and whenever we feel like passing urine, it is good to go and urinate. We don't need to hold our urine. Then after sunset, consume less amount of fluid so that you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the washroom. So basically, nature is training you. Then another problem is constipation. What happens is most of the women, they stop taking water. They feel pukish if they take water. So what do? We can just simply add a small flavoring agent to water, and then we would be able to consume. The requirement of water is minimum 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And simple things. A lot of people ask me, shall I take some juice? I always say, instead of juice, it is better you take the whole fruit. Instead of taking orange juice, you take the whole orange. Instead of taking apple juice, you take the whole apple. Because what you will do now is, you'll first make juice, drink it, discard the pulp, and then you'll go to the market and purchase isabgol, and then you'll consume that. So instead of purchasing fiber from the market, consume the fruit on its whole. Then we do feel breathless. A lot of patients would come and say, I cannot breathe. See, it happens is when there is a gravid uterus, it is putting pressure on the lungs in the later half, and in the first half, the gaseous distension of the abdomen gives us a feeling of breathlessness. Again, that is normal sign. That is why we teach you deep breathing exercises. We prefer not to wear tight clothes. It is better to have upright posture, preferably a pillow, even while we are lying down. And simple light exercises. Walking after eating food will help us manage our breathlessness, especially post meals. Now, sometimes there can be a lot of swelling in our feet. What to do about it? Why do we have this swelling? It is the pressure of the gravid uterus on our veins. That is why there is swelling. So what do we do about it? We can just simply elevate our feet. We can put, supposing we are a working lady, most of the women are working during pregnancy. We can just simply put a small stool in front of our legs and sit down, even in a workplace. See, pregnancy is a time to pamper yourself, and you don't need to feel ashamed that if you're taking a stool under your feet in the office. In fact, it is good to, tell people that yes, I do need that extra something, and I'm providing myself with. It doesn't require anybody else. I can just simply put a stool. I can take an extra snack during my working hours. It can be a working snack. Then how much weight gain should you gain during pregnancy? It's your baby. It is the larger breast, the placenta, the amniotic fluid, so many things. So the minimum weight gain during pregnancy would be 7, and the maximum would be 17 kg. A lot of patients, they come and say, ma'am, hamara to weight lose ho gaya. We have lost weight. So in the first 3 months of pregnancy, you can actually lose 3 to 4 kgs of weight, but the nutshell total weight gain during pregnancy would be minimum 7 kg for a woman who's already obese, and it can be as high as 17 kg for a woman who's very underweight. Remember, when you finish your 6th month, your baby's weight is just 800 grams. This 800 grams gets converted to 3 kg in just your 7th and 8th months and your 9th month. So that is the time where your actual weight gain should be, and not your weight gain should be by hogging a lot of food all the time. You don't eat for 2, you eat for a healthy pregnancy. Then backache. A lot of people, they say, I have backache. Simple remedy. Take a pillow while you sleep. Have a good posture to sleep. Most of us, we try to lean in front to hold the uterus, but we actually need to support our back as shown in this diagram, and then we would be actually avoiding a lot of backache, a lot of neck aches by just simply having a correct posture. Besides, Dr. Mandakini is going to cover a few exercises which you'll be following to have a good posture and avoiding backaches. So don't feel weak always. Pregnancy is not the time to say ki main weak hu. Mama lion is a strong lion. So that's a slide about the posture. Then it comes to our mind how to tie the seat belt. As you can see in the picture, Seatbelt doesn't have to be tied on the abdomen. It is just below your belly, the lower hook at your bikini line, and the upper belt above your tummy. Nothing to compress your baby. That holds true for your clothing also. See, your clothing should not be compressing your abdomen. It should be either below or it should be either up. Like most of the women, they are wearing trousers. Now, trousers ki jo belt, especially the ones with high waist, it doesn't have to be on your navel. It has to be much below at the bikini line. And nowadays we do have maternity trousers which have a lanky upper portion which doesn't compress your child at all. Now, there are certain psychological changes. Another thing, a lot of people expect their partner to be always helpful. Remember, you are becoming a new mom. Same, your husband is becoming a new father. So, yes, your husband is supposed to support you, but be a lion mom. There would be changes in your mind as well as your husband's mind. So, both of you support each other during pregnancy. I think I've covered few of the important points which could help the audience. And how many audience do we have, Ashutosh? How many people are there with us?
I think 9 are there, ma'am.
Okay, we have almost 9, 10. So any queries from the audience regarding whatever I've covered?
We'll be taking it up short while, ma'am, once I'm done with my session, and in the end, we take up the questions. Meanwhile, the audience are requested to put their questions, and we will be taking them in the later half. So thank you so much. If somebody can make me the presenter so that I can present my slide. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a beautiful session and very well explained what all they go through. Now, I'm just gonna take up. I'm just waiting for somebody to help me out.
Ashutosh should be there, I believe.
Yeah, I think they have done it. Is my screen visible by any chance?
Yeah, I can see your screen. I don't know about the audience.
Perfect, ma'am. So I think I'll ask you only in case I'm not visible. So to begin with, now we have all talked about that what is all your pregnancy about and how do you go through. We have covered that phase. Now, what I'm going to talk about is the last phase. That is, how do you choose a hospital? What all you do it when you're planning to go for birthing, and what all exercises you do yourself such that you maintain yourself fit and fine. And trust me, pregnancy is a beautiful journey. It's not a disease. And trust me, my patients, mothers who have come to me, they actually do not feel any back pain because, as Dr. Nupur rightly said, I always guide them to maintain a right posture, work on the right muscles, and you're fit to go. So before I proceed further, I would like to explain why do we actually get a back pain. So ma'am, just let me know in case I'm not visible. So when we have an increased arch here, the back, then it gets into increased arch. It's then when we have a back pain. So we imagine my hand as your spine and this is your belly. Now here is the womb. Now what happens? Your center of gravity changes because center of gravity is something which prevents a fall. So, you should not fall forward or you should not fall backward. That is how a body adjusts itself, any body, such that a body is stable on the ground. Now, when the baby is here, your COG is shifting forward. Now, how does body adapt this? You change your spine and you walk like this. So the spine is all into curve. Now, when your spine is all into curve, there's abnormal pressure happening over your spinal region here. The abnormal pressure, your hip muscles are absolutely tight, which are leading to back pain. So today's session, we're going to deal with how do we work on this back pain issue and how we can have a smooth labor and land up into a normal delivery. So to begin with, first and foremost, we're supposed to know how do we choose the hospital. So always make sure that the hospital that you have, it is next to your house. It's very near to your, it's very near. Obviously, we are supposed to know that what are the packages they're giving. That is secondary. They can just have you should have your antenatal care provider. She will just explain you about everything. You should also have a transport ready all of the time, every time whenever you're planning to do it. So just keep yourself ready and prepare yourself for the delivery. You should be knowing about the maternity setup. Are they having a good NICU pool in that case, in cases if you land up into some kind of emergency? So there should be some emergency services available as well. So all these things, your antenatal care provider, your gynecologist, obstetrician, she's the best person to guide you, and you should be in touch with them for every time. In case you're planning for any stem cell preservation, you should in advance tell it to your provider such that the proper things can be done on time. Next, I'm going to talk about is birthing plan. That is absolutely important. That gives you a real picture. It makes things easier for you how you're supposed to manage things out. Right. So in case like now, first, how do you prepare a plan? You should have your team's contact number. Everything has to be penned down. This is what I'm talking about. Everything is supposed to be written on a piece of paper. Sometimes there's also a PDF document that is shared and wherein the people do mention their preferences. So you should have medical team's contact information absolutely handy. You should have birthplace and birth centers place absolutely handy, and your family members should be aware of wherever you're going. So your family, core family members, not just your spouse, whosoever stays with you, because you never know whenever the emergency strikes. So your family members should be knowing it. Better you make a record of things such that if you are into emergency, you can immediately refer to your notebook and tell the person, here you're supposed to contact this person, contact this hospital, and this is how we go. Next is we need to know what kind of delivery are you preferring. Or do you want a cesarean section, or you do want a labor, or if you want a normal labor? So everything has to be pre-planned and done. You can also talk with your gynecologist regarding smallest of things. They definitely help you out and explain you things. You should always know when you're supposed to go to the hospital. Again, your medical care provider will guide you on this thing. You should be pre-registered, you should have transportation handy, and arrangements for any kind of things that you're planning, it should be made in prior. You should always know what are the entry gates of the hospital, what are the emergency gates of the hospitals, in case you can reach to your place early as possible without avoiding any kind of unwanted incidents. So now, next I would like to add on is what you're supposed to pack. Whenever you're going, you should have everything handy in you, and what all you're supposed to add on. So first and foremost, as I discussed earlier, you should have your paperwork with you, which has your birth plan and everything, antenatal card, everything. Now, for the mother who is delivering, you should always carry a pair of clothes. When you're into labor, carry, because it's a very messy process, so you should carry anything that usually you are given gowns in the hospital, but in case it is that, then you can carry some, an old cloth which you just want to discard. You can carry some loose and comfortable clothing, an old t-shirt for the labor time. You should be having supportive bras. Maternity bras are available in the market. You can just connect with them because that helps you to feed your child better. You should carry yourself with sanitary pads because you will be requiring them in a huge amount at that time. Sometimes because the blood is lost, sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not, but carry yourself with everything as mentioned in the slide. For partner, obviously, you can have some toiletries, pillow, snacks. You can have yourself good book to read, just that you can just, relax yourself. I'll be dealing up how do you relax yourself during the labor if you're into pain. Now for the baby also, you need to maintain that your bag has everything that is required for the baby, a blanket, wipes, baby's clothes, baby's nappies, because all of this will be required when your baby is into the new world. Now, next thing I want to add on is how do we work on this labor phase? Now, when a mother lands into labor, labor is of 3 stages, stage 1, 2, and 3. My task and your task starts when you are into labor, stage 1. Stage 1 is when you are entering into the labor, when the baby is planning, baby is just settling down into, further down in the pelvis and is preparing itself to come out. When you're having a dilation part. So whatever I'm going to deal today is from stage 1 till stage 2. Stage 2 is when you're taken into the labor room and the baby is taken out. And stage 3 is when the placenta is taken out. So we talk about stage 1. Now when the mother is in stage 1, sometimes the mother feels lots of pain. Now how do we deal with that pain? A spouse or the closest member of the family we consider as a spouse, because spouse touch is the most comfortable touch for a lady. So what you do is expose the area. So for example, if this is the back of a lady, you expose, take out the clothes over that area, rub your hands nicely. Am I visible? Because I can't see
Yes,
myself.
you're visible. You're visible, Mandakini.
Thank you. So just rub yourself nicely, and the spouse, just imagine if this is the back, the spouse can take up, just go as a sliding movement. So starting from your bum, if this is the neck. So from the bum, you cover the entire spine and go very softly, firm pressure, just go like this, nicely. Make sure that your hands are warm. Make sure the cloth is not there on the skin. So you're making skin to skin direct contact. Next that you can do is, mostly the pain is felt in this region, like you feel it in the menses. So it is around your lower back, it is somewhere around the inner thighs. So obviously inner thighs I'm going to talk about later. What we can do is just rub it and then just go around the hips if it is visible. So if this is the hip area and this is my lower back, I rub it and I just go around the hip like this. It will help the mother to relax next level. Now, next, what you can do is you can give her a nice inner thigh, massage. You can give her a good foot massage. All of this will help the mother to relax. And trust me, more the mother is relaxed, more will be, she'll be heading towards an easy delivery. If she's stressed out, she will end up in having all the body parts just gets into constriction when you're stressed out. So it is very important for the mother to have a good space, to have a relaxed body in order to deliver the baby out. Now next, moving forward, how you can prevent the back pain. Okay, first let me cover the labor. Now next, what we do, this is called as a birthing ball. I think that's visible. So this is called as a birthing ball. What I tell my patients is, we teach them these labor exercises during the last trimesters, and I always tell my patients, the mothers that come to me, to carry this ball along with whatever bag I've given. They're supposed to carry all the exercise equipments that I give them to their labor room, because exercises don't stop at all, right? So what you can do is try to get the baby further down. So you can just go into this kind of up and down movements. Right, so imagine you have something in a jar. आपके jar में कुछ चीज रखी है, ketchup, and you want to take that ketchup out. So what do? You open the knob and then just do this kind of shaky movement. You thump it like this, and then you take the ketchup out. Similarly, imagine you have a baby inside and you want the baby to be out. So you just chop. So that helps you get the baby go furthermore down, using the gravity and trying to put it more down. Now next, imagine in a jar. If everything is stuck on the wall, what do? You shake it. You shake it, you do this, and you do this, and get the baby down. Now, how do you shake your pelvis? So you shake your pelvis by doing this. So you're mixing this, and this, this, and this, this, and this. So this is what you're doing. So there's already a fluid inside. The baby is floating into the fluid. We want the baby further down. So I shake it up and down and on the sides to get it further down and wait for the crowding to happen. Now, these are certain things that I want the mother to do on the ball. Now, next is, without the ball, what you can do is you can just go for a deep squat. So what you can do is you can make yourself, I don't know, is it for my legs are visible? So what next I want you to do is make yourself like this, keep your legs like this, and I want you to practice the squat. Now, when you're practicing the squat, make sure you have all the muscles loose here. You're wearing loose clothing and the knees are not crossing your toes. So you're just doing up and down movements. You can go as deep as possible. Now when you're planning to go deep, we want you to do. So what I want you to do is open yourself wide. Okay? Make yourself wide open and then just sit down. Right? You can do this. This is a wonderful asana. Recently, we delivered a lady and we made her sit into this asana for quite some time. And it actually helped to get the baby down. This is called as malasana. Now, malasana means to take a stool out. So it's something like, जब आप पॉट में बैठते हैं, इंडियन टॉयलेट पे जब हम बैठते हैं वैसे बैठते हैं, it helps to create some pressure here, and that is what is getting your baby further down, right? So these are a few exercises that may help you in your labor period. And do not stop exercising, but before exercising, always consult your medical provider, that is the doctor who's seeing you. You need their consent to start the exercises. Do not just go. आप ऐसे ही शुरुआत हो जाइए. आप हमेशा अपने डॉक्टर से पहले पूछिए क्या मैं फिट हूँ इस वक्त एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए, बिकॉज बहुत सारी बारी होता है आपका फ्लूइड जो एम्नियोटिक फ्लूइड अंदर है, कई बार वो कम होता है, कई बार बेबी की हार्ट बीट ज्यादा होती है, बहुत सारी चीजें अंदर होती हैं. तो आपको एक कंसेंट लेना बहुत जरूरी है. क्या मैं फिट हूँ फॉर एक्सरसाइज? No matter if the drips are on, you can do exercise, but only after the consent of your gynecologist. Only then. Now moving to next is, I want you to have a relaxed back. So I don't want you to get into any kind of back pain. So you can just practice the simple exercise. Now why do we get a back pain? Because we have this muscle all tight, right? Now once you release this muscle, things get better. Trust me, the pain just vanishes. So what I want you to do is keep your legs just next to your thigh. Keep one leg straight and try and move forward. Now when you're doing this, make sure कि आप अपने tummy को इस पैर से दबा नहीं रहे हैं. There should be no compression over your abdomen. It should be just a nice, good stretch from your hip till your calf. So you just stretch like that. So you get a good stretch here. So you hold it for approximately 10 to 20 counts into 3 times in a row, and do it 3 to 4 times in a day. Similarly, do it with the other leg, hold it. This is one. And the second one that I want you to do is the butterfly stretch. Now, what everybody does is they hold it like this and do it like this. I'm not able to do it completely because I have a tight clothing. So make sure when you're doing this, it is a relaxed clothing. This heel should be inside as down as possible, and this knee should be touching as down as possible. If you have this muscle tight, you may land up in having a pubic symphysis, like this area starts getting painful, and the mothers think कि मेरा baby heavy हो गया है, जिसकी वजह से यहाँ पे मुझे pain आ रहा है. It's not that. It's a myth. Your baby is not causing you any pain. It is your muscles. It is your tight body that is causing you pain. Baby is a bliss. It can never cause you any discomfort. So prepare yourself to deliver a healthy baby and have a healthy pregnancy. Thank you so much. I hope my session was useful. Wish you all a healthy delivery and a normal one, hopefully. Thank you so much. Okay. So I hope everybody found the session a bit useful. Let me just go for, okay, so we don't have much questions, ma'am.
Hello. Questions किसी ने डाले?
अभी तो I don't think I have any questions here. Ashutosh, can you please help me? I don't think we have any questions here. Anybody who's there?
Don't have any questions.
Yeah, ma'am, we don't have any questions. Anything if you'd like to add on, anything? Like people do have a query that when they're delivering, so is epidural useful? Does epidural lead to back pain? This is what they think. And how can they have a pain-free delivery? Maybe something if you can enlighten us on this.
You're asking me, Mandakini?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because since there are no questions, I thought if we can interact and
talk to ourselves and people can hear us, right? See,
Yes,
epidural
yes.
analgesia is something which is given for pain relief during labor. First statement is, people ask me, is epidural normal? So let me tell you, epidural is not normal. It's a benefit that is being added. जैसे आप खाना खाते हो ना, आप साथ में चटनी लेते हो. So that is the add-on benefit you get for having a smooth delivery. Now, how does it help you? Epidural doesn't take away your pains. It doesn't take away your contractions. what it does is जो पेन सेंसेशन होती है, फीलिंग ऑफ पेन जो आप महसूस कर रहे हैं वो 80% तक कम फील होगी. इट्स नॉट दैट कि जो लेबर है आपकी वो प्रोसेस रुक जाएगा, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच आई heard from lot of women would say कि पेन्स नहीं रुक जाएं, ऐसा ना हो हमारी फिर डिलीवरी नॉर्मल नहीं होगी. तो ऐसा नहीं होता, आपकी पेन की सेंसेशन खत्म हो जाती है, कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस या लेबर जो प्रोसेस है वो एज इट इज चलता रहता है. So that is the first thing. Second is, how does it happen? You just simply give a small injection in your back, and as you can hear, it is epidural. Dura is the back covering of your spinal cord. जो रीढ़ की हड्डी में हमारी नस होती है उसकी कवरिंग को ड्यूरा बोलते हैं. एपिड्यूरल इज ड्यूरा के बाहर. So we are not really going to hit your spinal cord. So it doesn't have any long-term implications. But as it is always there, हर चीज का benefit है तो कुछ उसका side effect भी होगा. So there are rare complications, maybe 1 in 1,000, where there may be problems with the movement of limbs after epidural. It may just get converted to a spinal. So small things can occur. But then let me just ask you one thing. We all drive our vehicles, है ना, गाड़ी में बैठ के हम रोज जाते हैं. What is the chance of accident whenever we drive a गाड़ी? It's about 1 in 10,000. But do we ever think about it? Because we think it is a normal thing. So गाड़ी में बैठने से पहले अगर हम ये नहीं बोलते कि एक्सीडेंट तो नहीं होगा, तो एपिड्यूरल से पहले ये नहीं बोलते कॉम्प्लिकेशन तो नहीं होगा. So epidural is considered very safe method. It doesn't cause any long-term effects like backache, but yes, rare complications can occur. And another important thing is epidural किन के लिए बहुत अच्छा है. A lot of moms are there who say कि मैं लेबर नहीं लूंगी, मैं सिजेरियन करा लूं. So it is very good for those women because it can give them a normal vaginal delivery. But if mom is strong enough, she is mentally made up her mind, yes, I can take labor pains, then you don't need epidural. It is your pain perception, it is your requirement which makes you decide that you need an epidural or not. For women who want a cesarean section to avoid labor pains, epidural is a very, very good alternative.
Right. So even I believe it's all a myth. Like we cannot be having any back pain because of epidural. It's absolutely a myth. Absolutely a myth. Anything that you would like to add on, ma'am, furthermore on anything what the mother feels after the delivery, postpartum depression, and anything?
I really love the way you taught them exercises and the way you told them. So I just said a few things which have to be actually practiced very religiously in 9th month. One thing is, don't stay in your mom's house, stay in your mom-in-law's house because you need a danda to work.
Yes.
When you go to your parents' place in 9th month, you are a queen who's come for an outing and you are pampered to the maximum tune and you stop working, which is a blunder. So even if you are with your mom or you are with your mom-in-law or you're alone, because so many times, you know, the couples are alone, the husband, wife are staying alone.
Yes.
Keep working,
Yes.
keep working and working. The more you work in your 9th month, the chances of delivery is better. You must have seen your काम वाली ना जो आपके घर में पोछा लगाती हैं, तो उनका कैसे होती है डिलीवरी? वो काम करते करते एक दिन सडनली छुट्टी पे जाती है, पता लगता है उसकी तो डिलीवरी हो गई, घर पे ही हो गई, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई. How does that happen? Have you ever wondered? वो काम वाली आपसे हाइट में भी छोटी थी, खाना भी कम खाती थी. You know, she didn't get all those fruits which you were getting during pregnancy. Then how did she deliver so easily? It is because she works. So what helps is the squatting. When we stand, you know, our legs are straight, the baby's head is just like a ping pong ball. So the moment we open our legs like this, baby's head slides in the pelvis and the delivery becomes very smooth. So how do we make our legs open? It's just simply squatting. So अगर हम इसको technically बोले, it is a squatting exercise which helps. And if you can walk in a squatting posture, that is called as Takjal in Ayurveda. That is the perfect asana which will really help you deliver normally. But as you're watching us, me, myself, and Mandakini, just try to sit in that posture. It is actually very difficult. And then walking in that posture is all the more difficult. I'm sure none of us would be able to do it more than 5 minutes. So, our good old, ladies, they made something very easy. कि हाथ में पोछा ले लो. One thing is you have a hand support when you are squatting. Second thing is you have a target. You have a target कि मैंने one room में पोछा लगाना है या 2 कमरों में लगाना है. So your mind is distracted and you spend say about 15-20 minutes in that posture. So it is not pocha lagana with a wiper. It is the pocha lagana is the squatting position.
I was about to say it. I told one of my patient कि आप घर पे पोछा लगाइए, and then she came up to me कि मैं तो लगा रही हूँ, कुछ नहीं हुआ. I said how? She said I do it with a wiper. It's not with a wiper. Sit down and then you do it. It's always that.
So it is the squatting posture. So you maintain a squatting posture, you get distracted and you get a hand support. So another thing is butterfly, as Mandakini depicted it, half butterfly, full butterfly, both would be really beneficial. So it's opening up your pelvis like this. Another important step is sit-ups. जैसे punishment पहले मिलता था ना, हम कान पकड़ के ऊपर नीचे होते थे, तो हमने अब की बार कान नहीं पकड़ना है, हमने कोई टेबल का कॉर्नर या दरवाजे का कॉर्नर पकड़ना है, बिना पकड़े नहीं करना. अगर हम स्लिप हो गए तो वही प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी. So we'll hold the edge of a table or probably the edge of a door and do sit-ups. जब हम नीचे धम करके देखते हैं ना पैरों भार, तो gravity helps in bringing a baby down. So that is a very, very important and a very good exercise. And the next important thing is the time we spend in these exercises. Because you may just do 1 or 2 squats, 1 or 2 butterfly. Zara sa 2 minute ka kakchal, see that may not really help. So what you require is minimum 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. And then you feel yourself, you'll really feel lighter. ऊपर से सारा खाली हो जाएगा, baby नीचे चला जाएगा and delivery is going to be smooth. Maximum cesareans आज की डेट में होते हैं, बच्चा नीचे नहीं आया. And that is because we are a queen in all our 9 months. So let us not be queens. Let us be hard workers and laborers during our 9 months. If not 9 months, at least during the last month, the 9th month. And that will ensure a very good normal vaginal delivery.
Yeah, I think we are getting some questions. There's a patient, maybe there's a mother, Mrs. Ritu Dhiman. She's asking, how can I know this is a labor pain?
Okay. See, labor pain, एक बात तो है कि labor लिखा है ना उसके आगे labor pain. ऐसी दर्द है जो हम ignore नहीं कर सकते. So it is going to come and it is going to go. When it comes, we really feel that there is hardening of the uterus, back से आगे तक आती है, and it is intermittent. It has to be at regular intervals. Labor pains ऐसी pain नहीं होगी जो हुई और उसके बाद होती चली गई, मतलब आधा घंटा लगातार लेबर पेन नहीं होगा. लेबर पेन आएगा, 1 मिनट के लिए पेन आया या 30 सेकंड्स के लिए आया, फिर हम बिल्कुल रिलैक्स हो गए जैसे कुछ भी नहीं है. फिर 5 मिनट के बाद दोबारा आया, फिर वो रहेगा करीबन 30 सेकंड्स 40 सेकंड्स, फिर वापस, फिर अगेन वी हैव इट. सो इट इज इंटरमिटेंट, रेगुलर. ऐसा नहीं होगा जो आधे घंटे बाद पेट टाइट हो रहा है. दे आर ब्रैक्सन एक्स कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस व्हिच आर नॉर्मल. So it is going to be every 5 minutes or maybe every 7-8 minutes, and sometimes in the beginning it is even every 10 minutes. So frequency, regularity, intermittent, location coming from back to the front, associated with hardening of the uterus. Sometimes labor pains may also be associated with water leakage. Water leakage can be sudden gush, as if कि जैसे कपड़ों में यूरिन निकल गया. That is what most people mistake. उन्हें लगता है कि आज तो मेरा कपड़ों में यूरिन पास हो गया, but that's not true. It is the bag which ruptures. Another important thing is small amount of blood discharge. जैसे थूक में निकलता है ना, बलगम में निकलता है, something like that. But if it is a spoonful of fresh blood, then that is abnormal. So, but if it is something a mucoid kind of a thing, having a blood stain, that is again a sign of labor. That is called as show. So if you have any of these, you may have intermittent contractions, pain abdomen, you may have show, you may have leakage. All of them occurring together, yes. Even one of the symptoms. अभी पेन नहीं शुरू हुआ, पर water leakage हो रहा है. Yes, we suddenly feel कि underclothes are getting wet. थोड़ी देर में हमें लग रहा है कि every half an hour we need to change our undergarments or we need to change our garments. Okay, that is again a sign that there is leakage and we need to go to the hospital. So they can occur in unison or they may be one single symptom. whether it is a single symptom or they are occurring in unison, we contact our doctor, we go to the doctor for a proper examination, and the doctor will be able to tell us if it is a true pain or a false pain.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that one. Yeah, that
other
was
questions you
perfectly. Yeah. We have another question from same Mrs. Dhiman. That sit-ups किस month में करना चाहिए? So what do you suggest?
See, we have a lot of patients these days. When I was a student, the incidence of prematurity was as low as 5 to 7%. In fact, my thesis was on prematurity. But nowadays, as I was reading yesterday, the incidence of prematurity is 12 to 15%. So we really don't know you are lying in that premature wala group or you're lying in that maturity wala group. And 9th month is a good 4 weeks period. So I do your routine activities, routine exercises during pregnancy. But as far as these sit-ups, these squats, these calf jump, I really recommend start it in your 9th month. As soon as you would be beginning your 9th month, most of the gynecologists, they would be getting your ultrasound done. That will tell you that your baby is head down or buttocks down. It is important it should be head down. It will also tell us that the water is normal or it is more or it is less. It will also tell us the weight of your child. You know, early scan in the beginning of 9th month will guide you, yes, it is more or less a normal pregnancy. That is the time. Supposing it's buttocks down and you're doing sit-ups, so what benefit are you going to gain out of it? So once you're done with the beginning of your 9th month, a routine scan, most of the gynecologists get it done. That is the time you start working towards a normal delivery, specifically towards a normal delivery. That would avoid a lot of undue complications also, you know, those preterm pains and premature background.
Yes. Absolutely agree with you, ma'am. Even I suggest my patients to go for these kind of squatting activities once they've completed 37 weeks approximately, because I want the baby out by 38.
I would just add on here, see, not really 37, because after 37, the time left is pretty less. So most of the gynecologists these days, you know, 9th month begins when they're just 34 weeks and 3-4 days. So most of them, they get a scan done around 35 weeks. And then after 35, there are good 3 to 4 weeks. So just when they are beginning the 9th month, they get after the scan, they just start that. You know,
I was talking about the vigorous exercises, which actually are absolutely leading you to get into the labor.
Fully agree with that.
Labor exercise, because we want the baby out once the baby has approximately completed 37 weeks, because that leads to lung development and everything. So that definitely, so vigorous exercises, yes, you need to start up to that. But before that, you can prepare yourself, do good wall squats, start squeezing your glutes. You can start doing some activities, squeeze your adductors, work on your adductors, and yes, you can completely do it.
Emphasize, you know, it's just not the last. Throughout the pregnancy, also they would be doing some form of stretching exercises.
Yes.
Muscle
This is all in the beginning. Yes.
It's the stress we achieve in all our 8 months. But then, the wholehearted show has to be done in the 9th month only.
Yes,
but then
it has to start in the end.
All throughout.
All the way. Starts from second trimester till the end. It is actually there. It works wonders. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. And lastly, I would like to share, a feedback of one of my patients. The husband walks in and he says, my wife is pregnant and she's having absolutely no pain. Is that normal? So I have to tell him. That yes, if she's not having any pain, that's absolutely normal, because pain is not a criteria in pregnancy. It has to be a pain-free, painless pregnancy throughout, and you can be fit only if you do right exercises, be in touch with your gynecologist, follow all the instructions given to you, and all the very best to everyone here. Thanks for your time, ma'am. It was a pleasure meeting you.
I want to add something here. Remember, pregnancy doesn't have any P. It doesn't have periods, no pain, and no pressure. So during pregnancy, no periods, no pain, and no pelvic pressure. So it's a time you can actually enjoy.
Yes, it's a time to enjoy. It's a bliss. Thank you so much, ma'am. See you.
Thank you so much, Mandakini. Thank you, the audience who made this, wonderful session. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again. Or with a new role. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank. Cord Life. One chance, one choice.